Hi guys and welcome to ThrustZone.com. This is Mohit Soni. What is in front of you is one of the most iconic cars of our time, and it's the car that has been going on for generations. It's here in its 2021 avatar, 21st century avatar. This is the Defender 90. Earlier we did drive the 110 version. This is the 93 door version. And as we all know, and I would like to give you a small update that in the future there is the 130 planned as well. So this is not the last of the new Defenders that we're seeing. There's going to be even more. But let's focus on the 90 now, and let's jump to the design, because I'm showing you the side profile because that's how the car looks like. It's not a concept on the road, it's an actual car you can buy from the showroom, because it looks spectacular in this shade, in this design. The way the three-door car has been done is absolutely spectacular. Look at the large body panels, the door, the side fender, the front fender, the huge wheels. It just looks imposing, classic, menacing, everything at the same time. There's no denying that this is one of the most handsome looking cars that we've come across in a very long time. As you can see on the top, there is a dual tone paint scheme going on with the white roof. That's the redesign of the car. It's something that we need to get used to because it's a little bit plain, but then again, the tail lamps that are on offer here are very good looking, very unique, stand apart from the crowd in the luxury segment and in every other segment as well. So that's a really good job. On the side you can see you got these vents sort of here. And the bonnet also gets the typical design at the front, and that's the Defender logo along with the huge grill, and the way the bumper has been done is a very solid macho looking design. And these spectacular LED DRLs that are on offer with this car make it look really unique and grabs attention on the road at any given point of the day. Those are the fog lamps, all-terrain tires, and there's no denying the fact that this is a very good looking car. And now let's jump into the interior. Let me show you what the rear is all about. First, as you can see, I've taken the seat ahead, and I'm trying to make this easier, but it isn't. Getting inside will take is a bit of a task, and here we go. Yes, sitting at back, let's go behind my driving position. As you can see, very good knee room, leg room, but I am sitting a little bit knees up. Under thigh support also is alright, could have been better. You've got endless charging ports, AC controls, a 5-volt socket here as well, a place to mount entertainment screens. You've got the window pane here. The iconic design continues, lens in light, and it also has a very big full-size panoramic sunroof. So there's absolutely no question about claustrophobia here. And you've got a glass on this side, and as you can see, there's a bit of a defogger running here as well to make sure that it doesn't fog up. Got speakers, 8 airbags, a light here, a speaker here as well, and that is the interior of the car. Let's quickly jump to that. So that is the steering wheel of the car. It remains pretty much the same as the 110 version. What you can see here is the buttons for cruise control. The electronic parking brake is right down there, along with the button for the dial for the brightening of the ambient lighting, along with the instrument cluster. And you get, as you can see here, electric steering adjustment, which is always a welcome move in luxury cars. That's the big size LED display. It can be customized to the way you like it. And as you can see, these are the options on offer. And once you press this button here, you get into the settings mode, and you can customize the left panel, the right panel, and the layout. So let's go into layout, and let me show you that you can have the one dial setup, then you can have the 2 dial setup, then you can have the entire map displayed, and of course once I exit this, it will become entirely a map, and it can show music that is playing along with driver assistance. So the driving assistance basically completely clears out everything, and which is great. And as you can see, the moment I press this button, this also gets illuminated. That's the volume control. Voice commands are on offer, but only a handful of them, which is the usual call and dial. That's about it, nothing fancy. That is the buttons that operate everything here. So that is for the AC, This is for once I press that, I can go into eco mode and select all of the driving modes for the off-road specifically. This is for the suspension leveling adjust. And what I can't understand is that when I even I lock it, and even if I'm going at higher speeds, the suspension comes back to normal. So I don't think that's very ideal when you're asking for it, and despite that the suspension is raising to normal level, is something I just can't understand how Jaguar Land Rover has tuned it. But when you press this specific button here, the suspension can go up really high. You can get a ground clearance of 290 mm, which is great. And that's the low ratio. Now engage. I need to put it into neutral, and then I need to engage. That's how the low range gearbox gets activated. And that's the hill descent, front and rear defogger, and internal circulation. And it also this car also has ventilated seats along with heated seats. So as you can see, it can do both. For both sides of course, and which is great. That's the new PV Pro system that is on offer with the Land Rovers, and this is a slightly smaller screen than the one in the Defender 110. It's a pretty good unit. It's definitely is surprisingly different than every other manufacturer in the way things are done. The Germans can feel quite similar. This is an entirely different unit. This is the second attempt for JLR to get their infotainment system much more friendly, and they've succeeded at that. Of course, the refresh rate for the screen can be always higher. This definitely needs a even more higher refresh setting, because the screen, of course, there is not much to move around, but it could have been a bit more faster is what I'm trying to say. And the sound system is by Meridian as always. It is pretty good, but again also it can be a whole lot better when compared to rivals. That's the AC vents over here. You can control them like this. Don't be fooled by the design, they work really well. Bombay is extremely hot, just like any part of the country, and it's been working really well since the last 2 days. And we've got some space here. Even this area is chilled. As you can see, there's a button here, and which is always a great move to keep your drinks chilled. You've got a wireless charger here, big cup holders, a lot of space here to keep some stuff. There is space behind the screen as well. You've got a charging point here as well, so there's a lot of space to be stuffing around stuff. And you've got leather. It looks utilitarian and luxurious at the same time. So that's the big highlight of the Defender, in the way the dashboard and the interior has been done. It looks like a luxury vehicle, at the same time it looks like a purpose-built off-roader as well. This entire, like I told you with the 110, obviously it's with the 90, you can entirely wash this interior with a hose, and nothing will go wrong with this car. So that's also a feature of the interior that very few cars can offer, apart from hardcore off-roading cars. And another thing that's here is this. That's the camera mounted inside the shark fin, and it's giving you a view of what is behind, and you will be needing to keep this on for almost forever, because as you can see, the headrests are blocking the entire view, and it's a cumbersome affair. You will always have to keep this on to make sure that you have complete view of what is behind you. It is a bit of something you do get used to very quickly, but every single time you look at it, you'll be like, you're looking at a video and not the original thing. And that's a great move in this aspect. But again, despite it's a very good move and a good technology, it is something that you will need to get your senses calibrated to that aspect. Speaking of roof, this one sunglass holder here, that's the mic for the Bluetooth, that's the start stop button, more charging points. And the Defender is clearly 2022 or maybe 2025 ready when it comes to charging ports. There are endless of them, and I think that's what sums up the interior. A very good high quality cabin with the utilitarian part done absolutely right. You've got ventilated seats. The infotainment system could be better. The sound system could be slightly better. It still doesn't get wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. I think it does get wireless Apple CarPlay, but not Android Auto. It's still wired, and obviously updates will follow over the air if there are any, and they will come automatically to your car. And I think that's about it. Now let's jump to the driving part. So that's the off-road options and the other things that you can see inside the screen. You have the low traction mode that is on offer with the car. To activate it, it says that vehicle should be stationary, foot off the accelerator, activate and then start the low traction launch. And that's the problem with the PV Pro system, is that I can't go back to the menu. I have to always go inside this, then go into the apps, and then look into this. I can see the vehicle dimensions that are on offer, and again, as you can see, there's no back button. I have to go to home and then do it again. So that's a bit of a bummer, and should have been it's quite easily solved. They should have a look into it. And yeah, that's the water waiting. That's how everything is explained, how every mode works. So let's select. So I'm in comfort mode, so that's what it's telling me how it is like. Sadly, this is also not pressable. And again, going to home, then again going to the launcher menu. That's the valet mode. That's for the seats. They are off right now, and that's they have ventilated seats as well apparently. And let's just check it out. So the rear only has I'm assuming heated seats only and not cooled seats. So that's also something that should have been fixed for the Indian market, but of course the northern market can also use that easily. There's also something with the camera here. If you do this, so how is the Land Rover Defender 90 like to drive? What we're driving again, surprisingly, is the same 2-liter motor petrol version. It's a 4-cylinder motor making 300 PS of power and 400 Newton meters of torque. We thought we could expect a different engine to get the different idea of the Defender, but nevertheless, this engine is still a very good, very potent motor. It makes 300 PS and 400 Newton meters of torque, which is a lot of power and torque going through the 8-speed gearbox. The engine is refinement is spot on. You're never going to have any problems, and in fact the soundtrack is also really good with once you start pushing the car and redlining it. What is not so impressive is the gearbox. It can feel a bit slow. The engine, it's not a very smooth, fast, quick revving engine. It takes some time. So with a sort of lumpy power delivery and a slow gearbox, it suits the Defender's needs. That's what I said in the 110. I'll say the same in the 90. Is the fact that it suits the Defender, but this powertrain has been seen in other cars as well, and it's not really ideal for those GLR cars. But in the Defender, it works rather well. But of course, if it can be smoother, it can be quicker, it can be better, and that would make the on-road experience even more better. What is also quite good is the steering. It's very light and precise, but then again, there's hardly any feedback. The brakes on our car also were really good. The pedal bite and the brakes are really impressive. It stops on the dime. There have been certain situations, just like any part of the country, where you have to apply emergency brakes at least once a day, and the car stopped while doing so in traffic as well as on the highway. So the brakes work really well. You don't need to be worried about this car. Everything is taken care for you. The brakes is very good, and so is the body roll. It's well in check, but you will feel a lot of body roll. Like I said about the suspension, this is why I said that, because it doesn't stay locked, it doesn't stay lower, it goes back to its normal position for some reason. And even at higher speeds, when I click it into a lock mode, it doesn't stay there. So I think that increases the body roll. If it stayed a bit more lower, it would have been better, and a complete manual control over the adjustable suspension would have been ideal. And that also helps in getting ingress and egress right, because if the suspension goes all the way, you get the 290 mm of ground clearance. Getting inside of the car is also becomes a tough affair, and you will have to ask somebody to lower the suspension for you so you can get in rather easily. What else can we tell you about the driving part? The highway stability is quite good, and the ride quality is excellent. We went over some really bad roads which were made out of stone, and the car just went over them really easily. The roads were so bad that there's some amount of ride felt a bit stiff than it should be, because the roads were that bad. But most of the time, 98% of the time, the ride quality is downright excellent with this car. You can go over anything. You don't need to stop for anything. You don't need to stop for any sort of pothole. Just try it once, and then you'll always do that. And I think that's the real highlight of the Defender for our roads, that you do not need to stop for anything. You can go over anything basically. And yeah, that's what the Defender is all about. It's pretty good on the road, it's excellent off the road, and we did a lot of things where the side degree angle went to quite high, and we had to straighten it out and get it back. We did tilt the car to a certain extent and the car was quite stable, so that's also a job really well done. Of course, the off-road prowess is unbeatable, unmatched, and only one or two manufacturers come very close to what the Defender can offer, and it's a very tough fight between them. And that's what is the Defender is all about. On road, it's great, the design is fantastic, it looks very modern on the inside and outside. It's great to live with on a daily basis, at least in our especially in our conditions, and that's what makes the Defender a very, very compelling case. Prices even start at 76 lakh rupees for the base variant of the Defender in the 90 version with the 2-liter petrol motor. And whatever variant you go for, you'll absolutely love this car. You can spec it till almost a crore ex showroom, and then of course the taxes kick in. And I think it's worth it because you can do everything with this car on a daily basis, and it can be your daily driver. You can go out on the weekends. There's space at the back, even with the 90, and that makes the Defender the car for our road conditions. And be it petrol or diesel, you will be quite happy with this car. And I think that's it. That's what the Defender is all about. Thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure you like it, share it. If you still have some questions, put them in the comment section below. Subscribe to our channel, please, and stay updated on our website with everyday updates, including social media. Until then, goodbye.